djlonghairorig here, guys. Waiting for the live preview. Won't be talking much, but here we are, guys, here at MagicCon. I'm loving this new tripod. Very nice. Look at that smooth transition there. But yeah, should be live here in about 8 minutes. How you guys doing? Thanks, TCGDude. Rainstar, awesome, dude. Or do that. They, them, bruh. Not sure. Just pick one, let me know. But awesome, dude. Yeah, MagicCon's super fun, man. A little different for me because I'm working it, you know. But I got some pictures to come up, bro. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm gonna have Hayley take over for a minute. We got this picked up here. We got one of the main screens.
All right, hey, what's happening, Las Vegas? How are we doing today? Are y'all ready for a show? All right, so we're gonna do so calmly and in an orderly fashion, but feel free to move forward into the empty seats. Come on closer.
Oh, they're letting us move up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. I'm not going to fight all that.
The front rows are reserved, but otherwise come with the rest. Come on forward. So who's ready for an exciting weekend? All right, on the count of 3, I want you to scream out how many games you've gotten in since you've landed in Las Vegas, or whether you drove or lived here or whatever. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I heard some nuns, and we need to fix that. There's tables in the back. Hey, do me a favor right now. Turn to somebody you don't know, give them a high five. High five a stranger, high five a stranger. Nice.
Oh, hell yeah, Rainstar.
You don't know, give them a fist bump a stranger. Fist bump a stranger, nice. Now turn to somebody else you don't know. Ask them
I'm
for some
glad they
hand
added bump
sanitizer.
to that because that would be really awkward.
So your time. Hey, do me a favor. We have some amazing folks coming here on the stage to tell you about all the new stuff that's coming. Who's excited for new stuff? All right, on the count of 3, scream out if you think you know what it is. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely, positively. Every one of those things definitely happening. Yes. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. DJ, y'all anybody coming to the party tonight? 5 people. Awesome. We'll see you there.
Right here!
It'd be great. All 5 of you, just you and me hanging out. It'd be great. Wonderful. Fantastic. Again, do me a favor. When these folks hit the stage, make sure to yell, clap, cheer, toss a baby in the air. If you brought a baby, why'd you bring a baby? They can't play. They can't hold the cards. They can't hold the cards in their hands. It's hard. It's very good. Hey, do me a favor right now. Turn to something you don't know. Tell them your favorite pizza topping. Go.
Yeah, I was like, all right, who has vodka? I'm really bummed we won't have our boy Seth here, man. Not Seth, Blake, bro, where's Blake? We still got... Alright, we got 4 minutes, guys. We're still waiting. I'm gonna do my best to try to zoom in when we get there, but I'm stuck in upright. So I tried lengthwise. I got it to work once and then it crapped out. So I can only film upright right now. Which does sound funny. But we made it. That's a good question. I don't think they're going to get too nuts. I think we'll get previews for I'm filming you back. I'm filming you back. Filming you back. Let me film you too. We got you. We got you, bro. Sorry. Anyways, I think we're gonna be getting Edge of Eternities and some Spider-Man. Is my guess. But we could get previews up to next year. We already know that next year Lorwyn's dropping, so yeah. So maybe we might get some Lorwyn previews. I'd actually be stoked on that. Alright, so these two should be the same. Why am I doing that? I'm so used to my crappy tripod, guys. And I'm sorry that I don't have a Yeti filming this. Or Bigfoot. He charges too much. Now that's a camera. Oops, sorry. Bruh. Sorry about that. I need me one of those. Hey, what's up, William? From Denmark. Sweet, bruh. Hell yeah. Make sure you guys like and sub. I can't change anything in these lives off the phone, but I'm not set up with a laptop this year. But
MagicCon Las Vegas, it's time to kick off our weekend here at the Meta Stage. Please welcome your host. Give it up for Riley Knight.
The Meta Stage here at MagicCon Las Vegas for the first time this weekend.
Oh, wow.
It's so fantastic to see all of your beautiful, shining, smiling faces ready to get stuck into the preview panel for today. Who's excited to see some new MagicCon? We have a jam-packed schedule of stuff to talk about here on the preview panel today. We are going to be talking about Edge of Eternities mainly, and you're going to be amongst the first in the world to see some of the marquee cards coming out in this Space Fantasy set. Can't wait to show you some of that. We've got all sorts of other stuff to talk about as well, but without further ado, my friends, would you please join me in welcoming to the stage our four panelists that will be coming up here to talk about all this sort of stuff here as part of our preview panel. We've got JD, we've got Mike, we've got Sarah and Roy, and they are standing by. They're going to be coming and joining us up on the stage. Give it time to put our panelists here. It's good to be seen. Good to see you here. Good to be with you on stage. Why don't we go down the line and we can introduce ourselves and talk a little bit about all of you work for Wizards, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what you
no problem, Buck.
Wizards,
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, obviously.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm JD. I am the play design lead for Magic game design at Wizards, which means mostly I spend a lot of time thinking about the final numbers and the final effects we're going to put on all the cards, and very excited to talk to you about Edge of Eternities today. Over to you, Mike.
Hello, MagicCon Vegas. I'm Mike Turian, executive producer for Magic the Gathering. I get to work as product lead on so many sets, including Edge of Eternities. Really excited to talk about that today, as well as other sets like Lord of the Rings, Duskmourn, and so many more.
Also, Sarah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sarah Wassel. I'm a senior art director in the Magic Studio. I work on the collectability team, so we commission art and design cool frames and really just try to expand the world of what Magic looks like and make it as fun for all of you as possible.
Again, I'm Roy Graham. I'm the story lead for Magic. I work with our authors to bring Magic stories to life, to put characters in all these situations. Yeah, I got to work with Edge of Eternities on something really special.
All right, well, it's great having a panel assembled up here to talk about, well, so much today, not just Edge of Eternities, but we are starting with the Edge of Eternities here to talk about what's coming up in the set, both from a structural, mechanical, gameplay standpoint, but also, Roy, as we open things up with you, talking about its setting, right? And I wonder if you could open things up for us here, Roy, by talking about what is, when we talk about the Edge of Eternities, what is the Edge?
Sure. So the Edge is the analogy we've been using when Mike and I talk about it is as an orange. So the Magic multiverse, as you know it, is the flesh of the orange, the planes or the seeds of the orange, and at its center, that's familiar Magic territory. The Edge is the skin of the orange. It is the farthest thing on the other side of the blind eternities, the edge of known creation, and that is where our story takes place and where the set takes place.
So this is somewhat
No, new tripod, it's freaking awesome.
An uncharted region for us in both the story sense, but also in terms of the setting that it is, right? This is a space fantasy set. It obviously takes cues from sci-fi and other world-building aspects that we'd be familiar with from that. So can you tell us a little bit about what that was like, Roy, bringing that to Magic and the challenges involved with that setting brought to life in this part?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing that I really want to make clear, you know, we're talking about the orange, the orange of the multiverse and all of that. The Edge is
I can neither
is
confirm
more
nor
than
deny.
just another Magic planet, right? It's this is your introduction. This set is going to be your introduction to a whole new setting for Magic. You know, our science fantasy setting, and the Edge itself is vast. You know, it's think like an entire galaxy, a universe even. Though Edge of Eternities, this set in particular, takes place in one recently incorporated corner of the Edge, the Sothera system, which is a collection of planets one aligned with along with super, the stars of there.
Nice one, Robert.
Meet soon with the
Cosmic
dark
on live,
science
brother.
that finally collapsed it into a magical black hole called the supervoid. So yeah, pretty exciting. And in that space, in the Edge, in the Sothera system, you'll find all the hallmarks of like a science fantasy story. You'll find planets, of course, spaceships, aliens, cosmic mysteries, space pirates, all of that. And the two great powers that have come to battle over the fate of the system, the monoists, those black hole worshippers we're going to talk about at some point, and the solar knights of the Sunstar Free Company with heroes and villains and scoundrels somewhere in between, all playing out their own stories underneath it.
So obviously there's a lot going on with this. We've got a vast interstellar-like setting for us to explore here. Mike, I want to bring you in at this point and talk about some of the aspects of the Edge of Eternities in terms of what is both familiar and what is
They
new
sure are edging
in,
us to eternity. Good lord.
What are some of the themes that we're going to see emerge, both you and familiar, with this set?
Yeah, so the Edge, it's a space fantasy setting, right? And we have these mighty interstellar powers that are competing and clashing over Sothera, the superboy that Roy was talking about. So, and in terms of the familiar, right? These systems they generate mana and aether, and so lands are something that are going to be a really popular theme. It's something that we really tap into a lot.
We'll explore some of the mechanical things of the set as obviously we begin to show up actual cards themselves. But as we continue our exploration of the creative side of this set, and in particular the way that this new region, this new vast expansion is brought to life, Sarah, I want to ask you about what it was like to bring the Edge of Eternities to life on cards, the challenges that were involved, the high concepts of science fiction, of science fantasy. How was that addressed by you and your team when trying to, again, bring this to life on these cards?
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about this set is that, because it's such new territory for Magic, so many artists and so many people in our studio were just like super psyched to work on this. This was like years in development and years in coming, and we were all so really excited about it. We had so many artists reaching out saying, hey, I've heard you're doing this, can I get in on it? Because our artists that do amazing landscapes and land art, they've never really had the chance to paint things like this. And with this set, scale is a really, really important thing. Like generally in a Magic set, if you have like a giant or a mountain, we do things called scale birds, which are like little guys that like show you like, oh, okay, oh my gosh, this thing is really huge. So in this set, we got to do scale stations.
Because it's a slightly larger scale than what we get with just birds. Yeah. One of the things as well, I noticed when looking at some of the art and the world building that came out of this is there's also it taps into stuff that we as an audience are familiar with when it comes to this sort of set of science fiction, the role that has played in popular media for decades as well. That's been harnessed as well in a lot of the art.
Yeah, that's really true. Like science fantasy, science fiction has this really interesting thing of, it always feels like it's far in our future. And so, but to create those visuals and to make those stories about that, we still have to like germinate that from seeds of what's happening now and things that are familiar, because they're not really alien. It's really hard for people to emotionally connect to. Yeah, exactly. So there's always this really fun, like retro future, vintage future that kind of gets combined in it, and it's such a fun space for everybody to play in.
There are some really cool retro futuristic card styles and treatments we're going to show you as we get to these cards. But still talking about the creative side of it, Roy, I want to come back to you and talk about this idea of scale, right? This, again, we've used this word a fair bit already. It's vast. It's a vast set. It's a vast setting. What were some of the things that the story building team, the world building team did to nonetheless make the setting and set personal and make it accessible to us through characters? Or how did you address the issues of scale?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is what I was talking about, where like the Edge itself is a vast setting. It's a whole new, it's practically a sub world for Magic to tell stories in, a sub genre for us. But this set is pretty focused. It's in one specific star system, and even within that, all sci-fi, no matter how high-minded the idea is, all great sci-fi is really grounded in the characters that populate it. And for this story, you're going to meet some really fantastic new characters. I can't wait for people to see them, meet them, read about them, and perhaps one more familiar face.
Exactly, William.
Many people will be very, very excited to see it. We'll be making it a little bit
Chicken
later
little
on.
crossover.
Let's begin to talk about the mechanics of this set, right? Move away from the creative side for a little bit here to talk about some of the ways, Mike, that what we've talked about here were harnessed in order to get the set across from a mechanical standpoint. What were the ways in which these things we talked about, the vastness of space, the setting, the way that sci-fi stories are told, how is it reflected in the way that the cards themselves were actually made?
Yeah, so one thing that's so key to the Edge of Eternities is its connection to land, right? So upcoming here, we're going to take a look at the basic lands in the set. Right, Brian?
Oh, those are nice.
So you have all these basic lands, and Mike lands a really, really big part of the set.
Yeah, like, you know, and upcoming we're going to take a look at ways that we made land matter, and of course, right, you're in outer space. Outer space lends itself to planets, and you want this sense of discovery, right, and exploration. And so lands in Magic really let us capture that, right, and we get beautiful landscapes like we're seeing right here.
Yeah, and we can talk more about these in detail with you, Sarah, here, because I want to know what it was like creating cards like this. We've seen full art basics that have been a hallmark of Magic for quite a while. We've seen borderless cards as well. Borderless full art basics. Again, this is attempting to capture that sense of scale.
Yeah, totally. And also, you know, we like literally thought about the cards.
No
and
way,
making them
phone.
really look, and how can we make them feel more expansive?
Oh,
and
yeah,
have
our
previous sets. And you
land
see
art.
these celestial basic lands that there's like nothing going on around the edge of the card. There's no black border. There's no nothing. So we're really hoping that that gives you that like subconscious little boost about like even more about how expansive this set is and how these frontiers of exploration are so open and so vast.
Yeah, reflected again in that borderless, open, vast, expansive treatment here that we've got with the borderless celestial basic lands. But these aren't the only, of course, these aren't the only special treatments. No, we've got plenty to show you here. And we're going to move on now, Mike, to the Stellar Sites bonus sheet here and talk about one card in particular. These are going to be cards that are available in play and collect boosters. And Mike, we have a pretty powerful land coming back here in a way that people have never seen it before, my friends. Feast your eyes upon the latest iteration of Mutable, which Mike, you can tell us about here. This is the Borderless Stellar Site card. Tell us about this card and how it came together.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to bring
Interesting.
Mutable and all these.
Not sure if I like that type.
Sheet cards, back again. Say, one of my favorite things is when we go to explore and play, tap into the science fantasy feel, and you can really see that here with Mutable. Right. And as we reveal more of the bonus sheet cards, they're so powerful.
I know,
and
so
of course, like lands just come out, they have their own style and are incredibly beautiful. And to me personally, I was the game design lead when we created Mutable, and so this card has a personal touch to me as well.
Yeah, that's personally resonant for you as well. And coming back in this all new way. Sarah, tell us about this Borderless Stellar Sites card, the way that this card has been represented. It's been shown off in a way that we don't, like we've got the
What's up,
name of the
Perks?
card towards the bottom of the text box, towards the bottom of the card, the text box right at the top. Again, expansive bars. Talk to us about this card.
Yeah, we just wanted to take everything off the top of the card and like shift it down. And of course the lands make it a little easier because we don't need to put the mana symbols on the top. But the frame,
Yeah, right,
on the
Perps.
sides kind of like harkens to like a star chart.
Yeah, no worries, John T. Make sure you guys hit the like and the subscribe. Much appreciated.
That kind of like transparent map is actually not what we're used to it now in movies and TV shows. That's been kind of in movies and in the popular consciousness since like the 40s. So again, it's retro future. But each of these cards also we have like a little special font that's in the title card, which like hopefully like gives a little like lots of extra flavor, and then each card has a little spaceship that breaks the frame. So that
Scale spaceship.
yeah, scale spaceships. Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple of other
I'll zoom on the
videos
next
to
one
show
when
you
I
here.
get there.
Very, very
Good luck.
excited to be unveiling to you. We talked about that retro-futuristic look that some of these cards are going to have. I believe this one here is taken from the bonus sheet. Is that right?
Yeah.
So the one that we're about to show you here.
The one we're looking at right now, now it's been.
All right, so another full art.
This one that we're looking at right now, you'll find it's a collector booster exclusive.
Yeah.
It's a second version
I'm on.
of
Zoom in.
Mutable and
Alright.
Yes.
And Sarah, this comes to
All right, collectors only.
This has that
Sound
sort
let
of
me-
retro-futuristic travel poster kind of style to it.
Yeah,
it's not let me zoom in
taking
further.
the inspiration from a style of advertising that came about when mass tourism started to become a thing, and it was commissioned. There were ads commissioned by like railway companies or airline companies a little bit later, and they were meant to be really kind of glamorous and aspirational, and to really like give people this sense of this trip that they could take that would be full of wonder and full of excitement and something different and new, and it's really fun to make
3
a whole
hours
set
later.
of cards that look like this as well. So then we have like the cinematic, like painted pieces, and then we have these really interesting graphic, like kind of airbrushy, like soft color, aspirational pieces as well.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how some of the other lands or other cards that are on this set turn out, especially with styles like these. But, my friends, now as we move on to our next set of preview cards, all the spikes in the room.
Sure
are
am
gonna be very,
caustic and sick.
Very excited as a
Few
certain
moments later.
type of land comes back into standard. Many of you were playing with and against these lands for years and years and years. They're quite old, they're quite powerful, and they are coming back, 5 of them at least, coming back in Edge with Eternity's Might. We are bringing back the Shockland. Gotta love making 2 damage,
Yes, five of the Shocklands are going to be found in Edge of Eternities. Here we're looking at pretty cool. And once again, going to outer space, you know, we knew the time was right to bring these back. And one of the great things is we've made standard a 3-year format. And so really, you know, Shocklands are incredibly powerful and really, in so many ways, you know, change and influence the environment. And so we were really excited to bring the Shocklands back to standard again as well.
Well, I'm so excited to see that these are cards that I know are near and dear to many, many people's hearts, and they're cards that are taking a form that you've never ever seen before. Obviously, over the years, we've seen Shocklands represented in all sorts of different ways, and through all sorts of different lenses, with different frames, with different arts. But Sarah, to talk about the Shocklands being brought into this setting, I want to talk to you about some of the challenges that would have been involved. These are cards that are so closely, so iconically associated with Ravnica, right? With a specific set, with a specific Magic setting. What was it like taking these cards so closely associated with Ravnica and bringing them to, essentially bringing them to outer space?
I mean, it's the best kind of challenge, really. You know, like, we were all such fans of the game and the game's history, and the chance to take something and kind of spin it into a new way, but like maintain aspects of the original version.
Oh, it's a stomping ground.
Kind of difficult thing.
Yes, yeah, and these cards obviously see a huge amount of play in standard, in old formats as well. It's terrific to see them back again, and I'm very, very excited for people to get their hands on them. But we talked about the fact that this is a set where lands will matter. JD, I want to bring you in. You've been very quiet so far. Sorry about that, mate. But as we bring you in now to talk about some of the mechanical themes of the set, can you tell us a little bit more about this lands matter thing that's going to run through Age of Eternities?
Yeah, absolutely. So my colleagues here have been walking us through, and we can go ahead and look at the next card here. My colleagues have been walking us through this all the big picture themes of the set.
Oh, there we go, new card.
Scale. And now we're going to get a look at what that means mechanically for the set. So here on Harmonious Grove Strider, you kind of see a little of both. As you're collecting those cards and playing the Stellar Sight bonus sheet cards, getting them onto the battlefield, this guy's going to get powered up and get really large power and toughness. Large numbers on the cards are something we look to represent that sense of scale. You're going to be playing with bigger creatures than ever in Edge of Eternity. It's really cool.
I can imagine we're going to see, yes, again, that scale represented through big numbers, lands matter is another thing that's going to be important, which we'll come back to some of these things as well. But as we begin to explore some of the characters in this set, Roy, we're going to introduce ourselves to some of the new characters that will be appearing in Edge of Eternity before very much longer. But tell us a little bit about these characters and the story setting that they're going to be.
Sure, yeah, happy to. So the story for Edge of Eternities, you guys all know Magic has a story, right? Magic had like a continuous long-running story for a long time. And the Edge of Eternities story is like probably the most standalone story I've worked on in my time at Magic. We really wanted to let the setting stand on its own world building and characters and potential.
And it was also important for us that, like, if maybe you don't know what's going on in the story at large with Jason, Luna, and whoever, you can still come into this story and really enjoy it and not, like, need to know anything going in. Especially, like, maybe you're a sci-fi fan first and foremost, and you've just been waiting for us to do a story like this. Now's the time. This is one of the best times to get involved in Magic story that I've seen. I'm also really excited to announce the author for this story is none other than Seth Dickinson, who I know from the fantastic Trader Barter Cormoran novels, but has also done a lot of writing in an IP that maybe has some relevance to what we're talking about today and where we're going with the Edge of Eternity set. It is, we've been talking about scale the whole time. It's certainly the biggest story I've worked on at Magic. It has 11 main episodes, which I guarantee you read one, you're going to want to read all of them. It has 5 side stories. It, of course, is going to have the Planeswalker's Guide. And we're also taking the story a little farther than we have in the past. This is the first time that we will be getting it professionally voice recorded by a voice actor. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's by Jesse Inokalia.
I was going to say, boy, who is this?
Yes, yeah.
The story was another very exciting thing.
Yes. Professional voice actor Jesse Inokalia recorded all 11 main episodes, all 5 side stories. I'm sure his voice was tired by the other end of that. But yeah, I mean, it's just so exciting. Of course, obviously, the Magic Story podcast will be covering it as well with your hosts, Harlan Snyder, Natalie Prater, and then I think they might have some guest on here and there to blab. Just some guy that, maybe. And if you're more interested in hearing stories about the design of the set itself, how the cards got made, make sure to tune in to Daily MTG, because they're going to have some really cool programming about that. And one more thing before I know we got to move on, but as of the end of this panel, the first episode of the Edge of Eternity story will be live. So go listen to the Golden Tones from Jesse and Australia. Start listening to that first episode while you're
Some of the new faces, some of the new things we're going to be naming opportunities, right?
Yeah. So we talked about all these big powers that have come to Sothera in the sort of strange time in this sector's history. The Great Fate.
Yeah, I was afraid of that, but it kept calling.
The future of the Super Void and its center.
All good.
The people we start with in the story are not actually involved in all that, but we focus at the beginning of the story on 2 scoundrels who have had a run of pretty bad luck looking for their cat, and a busted up ship in dire need of new parts. So let's meet our first main character for the story and one of our next Ridley cards.
Yep, we can bring up here Sammy Ships Engineer. This is one of the main characters who's going to be appearing in this Edge of Eternity story here. JD, tell us about this card, what it's about, what it's representing, what it does.
Yeah, Sammy here is pulling double duty for us. They're both one of our key story protagonists.
She said duty.
And also our red-white signpost for limited.
There we go.
The red-white piece of the set is going to be caring about controlling cat creatures. You'll have to hold on to that for just a little bit longer. We'll get there. But you're going to want to do that in Sammy some robots.
Sammy pulling double duty from a mechanical standpoint as well.
Yeah, and also narratively pulling double duty, interestingly, because Sammy is on the Sarima, their ship. Sammy is the captain and also the engineer and also the chief con artist for the crew.
They've got a lot going on. All right. Well, we'll see more of these things emerge as well. But again, the red-white signpost uncommon there, as you say, creating tokens, tapping stuff. So that's what Sammy's all about here. We've got another new face for us to meet, also associated with Sammy. One of our characters in the story is Tap Memorial Ensign, and JD, I understand this is another uncommon signpost uncommon.
Yeah, and it here is our red signpost. Landfall is here. Landfall appears a few times in the set. Hear about lands kind of the red green theme is all about setting up your mana, picking up lands, doing some damage to your opponents. Pretty classic red green stuff.
Yeah, and those three beautiful words that everyone loves to hear. Draw a card.
Check out that tagline too, the Pablo, right?
Well, tell us, I was going to ask, tell us about this story.
Yeah. Well, so the thing I really want to call out here, so first of all, Panic is a cause. The tagline, of course, says Pablo, that is the magic term, but out of the edge, they're called cause. So the exciting thing to me about this card is when we meet Tonic, he is the pilot of the Sarima, Sammy's first mate and also like best friend. But you know, this is a character with a whole history and a past in this setting before we ever meet him, and this is actually a part of his life from before the story even starts. In the past, when he was a member of the Cobb Memorial Navy, scouting out the vaults, floating vaults of his people where they hid their artifacts before the planet of Kamara started to crumble. And we're doing this with a couple other legend set, a couple other like of the story main characters, just depicting them on multiple cards to show them at sort of different moments on their journey, maybe different moments of like color alignment or mechanical space that they're occupying.
I want to come back to something you said there because you mentioned that Sammy and Tanik zipping around the opportunities on the Sarima. The Sarima. Yeah. Can you tell us anything more about that? Maybe you want to get a look at the Sarima here. A brand new type of card which is debuting in Edge of Eternities. JD, tell us about Spacecraft.
Yeah, a lot to take in here on the Sarima. I'm going to start with the station mechanic. We knew from kind of the beginning of working on Edge of Eternities that we were going to need to represent spaceships. We were going to need to represent a way to travel in space, or it wouldn't be much of a space set. So pretty quickly we realized we wanted Spacecraft to be something new and not just use the vehicle mechanic that we see kind of pretty often in Magic sets. We wanted something new that could represent these vehicles and spacecraft with more power that could get you from planet to planet. So you can think of this as a bit of an evolution of the vehicle mechanic. Station works pretty similarly to crew. They both look at the power of their creatures and are using them to turn on the vehicle or the spacecraft. The difference here is that spacecraft is a permanent upgrade. You have a quest and you're going to pay your creature's power to turn it online. The Sarima has a threshold of 7 to become a creature. If you have a 4 power and a 3 power creature, you can tap it both right now. You can tap one this turn and one next turn. Either way, you'll get to 7, and the Sarima will be online for the rest of the game. The Sarima itself is a perfect ship for the protagonist. It's going to enter the battlefield, search out Sammy, search out Chinook, or maybe your favorite legend that you want to have pilot the Sarima for this game. You're going to use that creature to power this up, and then once you're there, your cast of characters is going to enjoy some plot armor.
So I want to ask a couple of mechanical questions about this. So there are obviously some similarities to vehicles in the sense that you tap the creature to power up this card, but once you've stationed this card to this one specifically, the 7, whatever that number is, it remains...
Yeah, Jamie, they have the shocks in the set.
Unless it somehow uses a counter, which is very rare, this is a creature until your opponent destroys it.
Well, this is my next question. It says that you put charge counters on this. What if you've got another way to put charge counters? Does it have to be through tapping this creature?
Oh no, if you find more ways to put charge counters on, it just looks for having 7 charge counters.
So maybe we'll find some other ways to put putting counters on these spacecraft. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, Mike, something very big, something very important to talk about here. This is a pretty big announcement, actually, here. So buckle up for this month because Mike is about to share a rules update that is coming along with debut cards like Sarima, a legendary artifact here, this spacecraft. Mike, what can you tell us about this rules update that is coming, that will be affecting legendary spacecraft, legendary vehicles?
Yeah, so for Commander players, I'm sure, are there a few Commander players out in the audience? Just a couple.
Well, I'll be very interested to learn about what you're about to tell us.
Right. So both with legendary spacecraft that we're introducing here with Edge of Eternities, and for legendary vehicles, they are now eligible to be your commander when you're playing Commander.
You would be able to play at one the City's Chariot.
Oh my God, midnight
You waited so long. Can you play the Let's Go?
Right, so your tactical pins will be unleashed. And we work with the Commander Rules Committees here, and there was just something that the group really liked about, hey, these legendary, now creatures, vehicles, spacecraft, they all have power toughness boxes, right? And so to unify, your Magic card with that power toughness box, let's let you build some new commander decks.
I think people will stop listening because they're all Googling legendary vehicle, all the Jackdaw. I can't wait. Well, speaking of legends, that's very exciting news. I know there'll be people out there who will immediately be brewing up new command decks as a result of this update. But another very exciting piece of news when it comes to one particular legend here. We've talked about the tease the fact that there is a certain familiar face coming back in Edge of Eternities. Haven't heard from him for a while, and maybe this is why he's been out in the far reaches of the multiverse here, because coming back in Edge of Eternities in a way, in a fashion way that we have never seen this fella before. Please welcome to this preview panel, Tezzeret, Cruel Captain. Roy, without giving too much away when it comes to the story, what can you tell us about Tezzeret appearing in Edge of Eternities?
Well,
That's a lot of words.
Our friends Sammy and Tamak start the story on their way to retrieve a artifact,
Collis,
a serious
interesting.
artifact from a remote colony in the Cythera system, and they're not really the type that are ambitious enough on their own to go after something like that. So they may or may not be working for somebody. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see. We know Tezzeret's got a lot of lines, a lot of different fires. We know he's a crafty fella, but this is Tezzeret, JD, like we've never seen it before.
Absolutely. Tezzeret is here as a colorless planeswalker card, a brand new color identity for Tezzeret.
Don't go far.
And this card is all about artifacts. Artifact Matters is another one of the big themes of Edge of Eternities that we haven't touched on very much yet, but it's kind of the science half of science fantasy. It's really represented by artifacts. And Tezzeret is all about it. The artifacts you play will give him more loyalty, and then he's going to use his abilities to boost your artifacts and help you find new ones.
And again, appearing in mechanically speaking, appearing in a way we haven't seen it before as a colourless planeswalker, but Sarah also appearing in iterations artistically, creatively that we haven't seen Tezzeret. We've got another treatment to show off here of what Tezzeret looks like. This is the example of the Borderless Triumphant card here. Sarah, talk to us about this treatment and how it came together.
Yeah, this is a really fun series of cards. Here's Tezzeret, painted by Lali Villeneuve, who this is her first time painting Tezzeret. She's really excited to depict this character. She's such an incredible artist that graces Magic cards with her work. And this whole series, we use these round graphic planet shapes in the background, which is really fun for the set. It could be a planet, or it could be a sun, or it could be some kind of star. And there's like your little scale spaceship. But the whole series are these moments of like kind of pause and triumph when someone's exploring, and in place a lot of them are like explorers standing on a mountaintop. It's really like, compared to the scale of all the spaceships flying around and fighting in space, these like focus on characters and focus on like, putting yourself in this story and in this game and feeling like you're the one looking out over this expanse and about to discover something exciting.
Well, keep an eye out for these Borderless Triumphant cards, because there'll be more of them in the set. It's not just Tezzeret, obviously, so that's something to keep your eye on here. But right now, I want to move on to our next card here. Each set does have a headliner card, and we're going to show you now the one from Edge of Eternities. It's a huge card in every aspect of the word here. Roy, tell us about this card as we meet for the first time. So Sarah, the Superboy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I was talking about this a little bit earlier on in the panel. The whole set, the
the planets, the characters, the conflicts of fraternities, all either figuratively or, in some cases, literally orbits Cythera. Cythera is the supervoid at the center of this star system. It has been collapsed into this sort of half-dead, almost undead state by the dark sciences and the monoliths. You can, oh man, the art is so cool here too. You can see that like sort of eerie halo it's giving off that you can see in a lot of the art of the set too, in the background or like in the sky or behind, you know, various
Commander
heroes and villains. It's so cool. So let's talk about maybe this card from a mechanical standpoint as well. If you can see, it's a card that rewards you for your creatures dying, but then also will ultimately bring one back bigger, better, stronger than ever before. What were some of the things that went into designing this card, varying the gameplay flavor with actual mechanical, the way that it's expressed mechanically?
Yeah, so Cythera was probably my favorite card to work on in the entire set because it is top-down black hole. And a black hole is just one of those things that everybody learns about in elementary school and is just kind of in the back of our heads as something really scary and capturing our imagination, or at least mine, for a very long time. So getting the opportunity to represent that in Magic card was really fun. We settled as the most important element to be captured that you get sucked into a black hole, that it destroys, and that there's this kind of fascinating question at the center of it. What happens once everything is sucked into the black hole and there's nothing else left? And for us, our answer
That's called a relationship.
Comes back out.
Is this something that's reflected in the setting of the...
Well, that's actually, I did want to mention that I've talked a lot about the monoliths, gravity manipulators, black hole worshippers. They actually believe that at the center of every black hole dwells their messianic figure, they call the immortal faller. And if you have the correct instruments, you can actually observe him gradually making his way towards the center of the black hole. What happens when he arrives at the center is a closely guarded secret.
That's what I'm saying, Pablo. Can't talk much.
Yeah, right, it gets plus 2 counter. That's probably it. Solve that.
We've got other aspects, other versions.
Graham, you're not alone.
Of this card to show up here. Sarah, walk us through some of the different treatments that this headline act, this main marquee card from the set receives.
Yeah, another one of the treatments that we did for it is a Japan showcase.
Oh.
Yeah, so fun.
Nice.
The way the text is treated on this card, the way the border is treated, the foil that it's printed on is all really exciting, really kinetic. Has kind of like a different art style to it. We love making these cards. They're really special moments in the set, and of course we had to do this for Cythera as like, the gravitational center of this whole story and world that we're creating.
So this is the Japanese showcase card, but there's also the Singularity foil headliner card, which we can bring up now. But I will say that this version,
that's interesting.
Sarah, it doesn't come out close. It is a static image on a screen. It doesn't come close to representing what this card actually looks
But it's a new
like.
card. How we know it does. The
So
hell?
we've got a great paint here to represent to you, the Facebook audience out there, what this card actually looks like when you get your hands on the set.
Yeah, so we did so much testing to make this card. We used a new substrate.
Hey, Willie Coolers. Ooh.
Which has this like incredible dimensionality and when the light hits it.
Wow.
And also we hit that black hole in the middle with extra black ink, extra treatment, extra coating, so that really when you're holding it, it feels like it's sucking the light out of the room and into the center of the card. And of course, like we did this really cool stuff.
Just like my ex.
On the card, so when you hit this, when this comes out of your pack, you're gonna feel that moment. It's a big one.
Keep an eye for this one. So once again, all three versions of Cythera the Supervoid up on the screen for you to have a look at here. Get the Singularity foil headliner card, the Japanese showcase, and then the regular card there on the left. So keep an eye out for this headliner. It's very, very exciting. bring you in here to talk about the product lineup for Edge of Eternities and how people will be able to get their hands on this card.
Yeah, absolutely. So upcoming here is the product lineup. Of course, we have play boosters and collector boosters, and then to experience the set for the first time, the pre-release and the bundle as well. And then we have 2 commander decks finally. Now we've been looking at a lot of these amazing treatments, and the stellar sites bonus sheet cards.
Right, Lucas.
In one of these play boosters, they're only in rare and mythic. And then we have the alternate version in the collector booster, those galaxy foils that we showed off. Those will be in the collector booster.
Not sure casual, but we'll see.
High-end.
I'm just stoked for a Jund deck.
With their treatments as well. So a lot of awesomeness that we're doing here with the Edge of Eternities.
All right, excited to see these on shelves, but I want to zoom in particular on those commander decks you mentioned. Let's have a closer look at these commander decks, kicking things off here with our world-shaped deck. So this is the black, red, green,
I'm getting it.
colours here. Mike, talk to us about this commander deck and what themes from the set that it encapsulates and harnesses.
Yeah, so this is the World Shaper deck, as you mentioned, black, red, green, and we're not going to see it today, but it is helped by, they're one of the 2 legendary cards you're going to get is the spacecraft, so that is going to play into it, and then as well as that, it really taps into a lot of those Jund themes, right? Sacrificing lands, growing in power as they come back, so it's a really fun deck for anybody who is big into those themes, and of course, playing the amazing spacecraft.
Well, let's have a look at the secondary commander here, Jane, and I'll bring you in to talk to us about the way that Zarel Genesis Shepherd exemplifies what this deck is all about. Looks like an absolute classic Jund card here.
Yeah, as a Jund aficionado, I am excited to play with this card. So the deck is about sacrificing lands. Zarel here is going to let you play those lands again from your graveyard if you're a little nervous about sacrificing all your lands. You have an easy way to get them back into play. It's going to pay you off for sacrificing anything, not just lands. Some +1/+1 counters for your creature. Really cool, really fun deck.
So keep an eye on that. That's the World Shaper deck there in the Jund colours. But we've got the other one as well to show you briefly here, the Counter Intelligence deck. Now this is in the Jesco colours, blue, red, white. Mike, what are the themes that are being shown off as part of this commander deck here? We've got counters, we've got artifacts. What's going on?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Riley. Counter intelligence really taps to one of the things that discovery and you're in outer space. Of course, you're going.
Ooh, that would be nice, Lucas.
Artifacts and they're going. What magical and useful powers. We really tap into that a lot here with the counter intelligence deck. That artifact matters.
And so the primary commander is a spacecraft. We're not going to get to look at that one today, but the secondary commander is Kilo. Apogee Mind here. Now this is a card that will reward you for playing with counters, counter intelligence overall as deck. Again, we talked about the fact that there are ways to get charge counters on the spacecraft. Kilo is going to help station the spacecraft.
Yeah, absolutely. Kilo is one of those ways. You can imagine you'll tap 2 spacecraft in the deck, get your proliferate trigger, get your counters for your spacecraft charged up, maybe charge something else up. A lot of options here.
So these are the commander decks that you'll be able to snag as part of the Edge of Eternities product lineup here. There are a couple other short announcements I want to share with you when it comes to the Edge of Eternities release here. Because we've got some new great ways for you to play.
No, Brian.
And beyond. Starting with Edge of Eternities, we'll be launching more specialised commander events at participating WPN game stores. These will be new ways to play, new ways to earn special promo cards as well. Maybe familiar with events previously called Commander Party Promo. Commander Party promo cards can be earned at eligible Commander play events starting with Edge of Eternities. You can score your sweet promos regardless of your preferred way to play Commander. So you'll be able to get your hands on these cards that way. But in addition to that, Commander Box League. I want to talk about this. Some may recognize the Commander Box League format from these events here, being at MagicCon, but these are being officially brought to in-store play. So, Commander Box Leagues will run during pre-release weeks. Great way to get to know a set with playing with in a sort of limited-like setting. We've got the 60-card Commander deck out in the context of a play booster box, and we're playing games with it throughout the week. That's going to be in-store play with Edge of Eternities and beyond, so very exciting. But the other thing that I want to talk to you about is the two-headed giant Commander Night. This is the perfect way to introduce someone to Magic. It's a perfect on-ramp for a friend or an enemy or someone about whom you feel largely ambivalent that you want to get into Magic. Great way to introduce people to the game using the two-headed giant Commander format 2v2. And these will be held as monthly casual Commander events, social mode multiplayer and fine. So, more details available in an article at MagicCon.gg for you to read about some of these new ways to play with Edge of Eternities and the other sets that are going to come after that as well. In store, I'm very excited to see these ones rolled out in stores everywhere. Anyway, that wraps up our Edge of Eternities portion of the preview panel. We've got plenty more stuff to show you, however, and I know that many of you here assembled are going to be very, very excited for what comes next. Because some of you may remember at MagicCon Chicago, we teased an exciting close to 2025 when we talked about Magic the Gathering, The Last Airbender. If you are as excited for this set as we are, it sounds like there are some people who are very much looking forward to it. We've got something very exciting here to show you when it comes to Magic the Gathering, The Last Airbender. Turn your eyes to the screen and have a look at this video. Check it out.
This is a particularly cryptic card for us to lead off on mechanically, so I hope you enjoy speculating until we're ready to share more. But we can see that fire bending, water bending, earth bending, and air bending are all going into be in the set. We don't know what those mean yet, but if you do them, Aang is going to power up and transform. Very cool. Can't wait for everybody to see more.
Sarah, can you tell us a little bit more about this card from an artistic standpoint and how it came together?
Yeah, I mean, look at how beautiful it is. We had this incredible chance to collaborate with one of the original show creators, Brian and just such a treat to get this work in the set. And, you know, in a moment like this isn't, we're not getting in his way. We just let him cook and he gives us the greatest we need.
Well, this is a huge moment for us. Just the first little teaser.
Tell me about it. Casual, I'm sorry.
You are around for that official 1st of August the 12th, coming up not too far away. Magic the Gathering, Avatar, The Last Airbender. We can't wait. The other thing we can't wait for some of the older school fans of Magic the Gathering, I'm very excited to tell you about what is coming up in 2026. Because for the first set that will be released that year, the 23rd of January in 2026, we are returning to an old and beloved plane, my friends. I know you'll be very, very pleased to hear that we are going back next year to Lorwood.
They knew it.
January 23rd. I will say, we don't have any cards to show you from Lorwood Eclipse just yet. We're not going to be looking at them today. But Mike, all the same, you can give us a brief, high-level overview of what the set is going to be all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Lorwood Eclipse, we are back to the land of day and night, right? And we're really tapping into that dual aspect part that we saw with Lorwyn and then Shadowcore as well. And so, you know, we're really inspired here by the whimsical, there's the dark and the fantastical, and bringing that all together with Lorwyn Eclipse, and of course revisiting those themes that made the set, you know, so fun to play with, and it left us with so many iconic cards. It is really exciting. And of course, as we're going to see, we are going to show off a piece of art. It's just so visually stunning. It really is just so exciting to be back.
It has a really iconic feel, and the artistic legacy of the wall is something that's lived a very, very long time. Never mind the powers that's come from it as well, Mike. So, Sarah, as we throw up these two pieces of art that we can look at here, can you talk to us again from a higher level? What was Lorwood Eclipse all about from an artistic side?
Yeah, it's a beautiful painting by Evan Fong. Here's that classic Orwin elf, right? We have the antlers that we know, but they're living in this more interesting kind of space in this set, or a newer space for them. They're less judgmental, maybe a little less haughty. You know, we're excited to show them in this new way.
And we've got another piece here to show you. This is by INVESTABLE Art by Mark Hall. Sarah, another stunning piece you're showing off this beloved plane.
Yeah, this is showing you in this set how Orwin and Shadowcore are kind of present much more closely to each other, and what is that going to mean? How is that going to wreak havoc? How is that going to create these like magical moments? You can see Shadowcore and Orwin kind of combining and then creating this like twilight space in between. I didn't say twilight zone. Twilight space in between.
Strictly better. What's up, my friend? Wow. Good to see you, man.
It's a beautiful piece of work by Mark Poole, and we can't wait to show you the rest of the art that was created for the set. We had so much fun.
I've been watching you for a minute.
Yep, keep an eye for that.
All right.
Coming up later on, of course, when we're ready to show you some cards from Lorwood Eclipse. I'm sure you'll be very, very excited to see them. We've got another set to announce here very briefly. We're going to start whizzing through stuff because we've still got a lot to cover here. Very quickly, you'll understand why we're not going to talk about this set too much more here. We've got the name to share with you and not much more because
good question,
it's secret. As we head into 2026, we will be going back to another plane that we've been to before, my friends. Next year, we'll be heading back to Strixhaven. Strixhaven. So, again, just a little teaser. We don't have too much more to tell you about that just yet, but many people will be very, very happy to see us go back to Strixhaven to discover something.
Right, strictly. Right.
You know, Roy, I turn to you now to talk to us about something else that's coming up. Very, very exciting. Looking forward to this huge amount.
Yeah, next year.
Tell us about Magic the Gathering collaborating with Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about that. Yeah, so for those of you who haven't heard, Magic is partnering up with Dark Horse Comics. Many comics I love. A lot of them. Yeah, exactly. And we're doing a series that we're calling Untold Stories, which the idea is, you know, Magic has had this long and continuous story over much of its history, but there are gaps in canon where we never got to tell the story from that you can see on the cards brought to fiction or comics or video or anything like that. And Dark Horse, like the people we've been working with, they are huge Magic fans, so they were super excited to bring some of those stories to life in comic book form. And I think people are going to be really excited about the first story that we're doing. It is, we get some of those covers on screen. Yeah, we're doing Pharaohs Beyond Death. doing Elspeth's journey out of the underworld, her escape from death. Issue 1 is going to be available September 10th. So it's currently available for pre-order. You can put in those orders at your local comic book shop.
Oh, really? I
and
love
it will be
ABP.
available in time for Atlanta. So you'll be able to, bring your copies, get them signed here. It's written by some real heavyweights too. Dan Waters, it's illustrated by Owen Gianni, colored by Hillary Jenkins, and lettered by Clayton Cowles. Here on the screen you see some of the, you guys are getting a first look ever at some of the interiors that we're looking at for this comic. Here are the 8 versions. Obviously these are going to be colored and lettered and, really brought to life in the final version, but you can get a sense from just how the illustrations are going, how exciting this is, and like, how, I just can't wait. We do have one more reveal, actually, if I may. Can we get the issue 2 cover on screen? Hell yeah. So here we have, while Owen Candy is doing the kind of basic version, the standard covers, we are also going to have alternate covers done by Magic artists. Like this one here done by our own Magali Villeneuve, and the issue 3 cover done by our own Kieran Yammer. Yeah, check that out. So make sure to collect those, bring them to Art of Magic, get them signed once they're out. They are not currently available for pre-order, but they will be soon, so stay tuned. Keep your eye on that.
Magic fans, comic fans around the world, very, very excited about the story of Elspeth offering death to the world. Finally, one last thing I want to talk about the panel here, specifically with you, Jadine and Mike, is a brand new, well, slightly, I guess, a new way to draft. This is something that's been in the works for quite a while, I understand, in the Building and Wizards, and it's something I know that many people all around the world, fans of this game, are going to really, really enjoy.
She looks so interested.
JD, can you introduce us to this new way to draft? Pick 2 draft.
Yeah, so Pick 2 Draft is an alternative draft experience. Our normal booster draft is really popular and not going anywhere, but sometimes you want something a little faster to get going, faster to get into the games, and that's where Pick 2 Draft shines.
I know all the calls,
So
dude.
draft as you know it with 2 big rules changes. The first one is right in the name. You're going to pick 2 cards every time you get past the pack. So you're going to open a pack of cards, look at them, take 2 of them, and ship them to your neighbor on your left. Picking 2 cards at a time lets you kind of have more certainty
Yeah, that's
in
fair.
the synergies
Open
you'll
mind.
have access to, and let you pick combinations of cards that'll work really well together. The other big rule change is that this is a 4-player pod. With picking 2 cards at a time, you don't need 8 players. You can only sit down and play with just 4. And this experience is very much designed with that in mind. It's really fast-paced and it's a lot of fun. Isn't that right, Mike?
Oh yeah. Limited is my favorite format of draft, especially. And one of the things I really love about Pick 2 is with it only being 4 players, it's just easier to get a draft going, right? You can, up Friday night, your commander group can go try out the new set with a quick Pick 2 draft. And when we've been playing it, the fact that it is fast, drafting 2 cards, it really makes it a fun and enjoyable experience.
Again, we will underline the fact that this is not replacing traditional draft. It's not replacing the 8-player drafts we've been playing along for so many years. It is in addition to that, but it is coming to Arena. Pick 2 draft will be available on MTGA. So a lot of exciting developments coming when it's limited and Pick 2 draft. So thanks for sharing your perspectives on that. You can actually play, if you want to check out Pick 2 draft yourself this weekend. I believe that there will be Pick 2 draft events held at Central. I'll have to check the exact details of that MagicCon app, and we'll have you sorted there. But as far as I know, there will actually be opportunities to play Pick 2 draft this weekend. Or I mean, just do it yourself, right? Like, you just need booster packs to 3 other people, so, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Anyway, excited for that, my friends. That is going to do it for our panelists up here. Well, would you please out there in the audience put your hands once again. But the preview panel isn't quite over yet, so don't go anywhere just yet, because joining me on the stage is a very, very special guest for one last round of announcements here. This is someone who's played Magic for decades, 30 years. This bloke has been slinging cardboard, and he joins me on stage to share some very special and exciting news that is coming up in Magic's
Sure thing,
future.
open mind.
My friends.
Oh, and England, hell yeah, bro. Hit the like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, bro. We have a lot of fun here on the channel.
The coast, it's John Hyde, everyone.
He doesn't seem very tall.
John, welcome to MagicCon Las Vegas. We've got a huge crowd in, obviously very excited to be here. How's
Nice shirt.
been for you so far?
This is amazing! Wow! What a crowd! I did check the temperature outside. It's 102.
Ew.
I don't want to pay this air conditioning bill. but man, there's one thing hotter than what's going on out there, and that's Magic the Gathering. It's on fire because of all of you.
John, I'm going to let you get on to the announcement. I'm going to head back over here, but mate, the stage is all yours.
It's such an incredible experience for me to be here now. Yes, my journey with Magic started 30 years ago. Literally in 1995, I was down in Orange County, and my wife and I, and she's actually here today, Julie. She and I went out to play Magic together. And we walked into a store in Orange County, and this fella named Scott Larrabee sold us some cards. And it's so cool, you know Scott, he's running a lot of the stuff that's going on here today. But he ran tournaments, and Julie and I played together and screwed up the rules. So if you are all learning, some of you are learning Magic today, it's okay, you know. You will get there. It's such an incredible game, and it's kept our family together. And it's an amazing experience for me to be here now and talking to all of you. I had no idea 30 years ago that could be a reality. So, you know, I think what was amazing for us about Magic then is true today. It's so unique as a game. You know, it blends strategy, it blends storytelling, and just beauty, right? Every card is a little canvas that transports us to fantastic worlds made by, you know, amazing artists and really clever designers. I mean, that reveal that we just had for Edge of Eternity, how crazy is that? You know, a spaceship, right? A spaceship that can go out and find legendary creatures for you and then turn them indestructible. And you match that to the creativity of a team that also, don't forget, last year was giving us all kinds of little field animals that go to battle with each other, flickering frogs and squirrels. And only Magic can allow you to go to all these different worlds and systems that we can all enjoy together. So part of why I'm up here, and probably the only reason I'm up here, is to talk a little bit about what's going to happen next year. So it's my pleasure to reveal to you that we're going to have MagicCon in 3 epic cities. And the team put together a cool little video to show all of you, to tell you where they're going to be.
For a special one.
So let's roll the video.
Yeah. And it's on the back. I think it's detailed. With our humor's very subpar. Oh yeah. So Thursday. We're not at that we don't get finals for adults. And then Sundays we can play so if you play EDH, let us know. We accept everybody, we don't care. The only salt we bring is that's it. Yeah. And thanks for doing it. My peeps have been meaning the whole time. I'm like, we're trying out for hard laugh, you know? Okay, are we into the next panel, or what is going on?
To Amsterdam and Vegas, of course, and Atlanta. I just want to thank all of you. You know, this is the gathering, right? This is what makes it such a special game. All of you coming together in events like this. And I want you to know that I'm ever mindful and grateful that we and myself.
I thought someone just said budget autism. I'm like, you're messed up. But it is cheaper.
You make this magic. It's all of you and the community and you supporting us for all these years that have made this special. So thank you so much. And have a great time at MagicCon.
That's Nxla bringing panel. Thank you for being here. We've got plenty more stuff coming at the Manor stage across the weekend. Looking forward to having your company throughout the rest of Magic Las Vegas. But for now, that's it from us here. We'll see you back at the Manor stage. Over and look. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, guys, so much. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, do all the things. I have a bunch of pictures to get, signatures, and of course, we got to make sure that we get more people holding these. Oh my God. Grab one for yourself. Not exactly how I plan on advertising. Thank you, guys. Yeah, grab my nets, please. Thank you.
Like, you've got a whole setup. That's going to be painting.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I will happily take a squirrel.
Oh, yes. If you guys scan it right now, I will hook you up a metal wallet squirrel token. So subscribe right now. I have a very limited stock left. We just had 52 pickup. All right, guys, we're gonna take up. Yeah, that's me.
I have to go into YouTube now.
Lots of stuff coming up, a lot of mini shorts. So thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking, and we will catch you later. Awesome, I got you a squirrel, and I got you a squirrel. Have a good one, guys. Bye. Yes, stop.